will be on lesson 8. Okay, so I have prepared a list of study questions for you, which I think Peebs has sent to you.
Let me check. Jasmine's saying, Shaq is saying, yeah, I've received that. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Peeps has sent it to all of
Okay,
us.
so I'm gonna pull up the list of review questions and oops, sorry. All right, so here's one sentence. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's one sentence we can discuss. This is example 7. And the example is 4 plus 16 equals 20. Okay, and the signs are 4, 16 together, 20. Okay, now, first question we can ask is the word order in this sentence. A definitely follows basic word order in FSL.
This is Shaq. Excuse me, sir. Would you mind zooming in? The text is a little bit small.
Okay. So the first question is, the word order in this sentence definitely follows basic word order in ASL. B probably follows basic word order in FSL. C definitely does not follow. D probably does not follow. So which one do you think? What is the subject?
Jasmine saying A?
Yes, A is correct. The subject of the sentence is 4, 16 together. And the predicate of the sentence is 20. Okay, so SV, it follows the basic word order. Any questions about that? Okay, for now, I'm going to temporarily delete the first question. Okay, now, again, the sentence is 4, 16 together, 20. Okay, so can anyone tell me the difference between a clause and a phrase? First, tell me what's the definition of a phrase?
Nat has his hand up.
Okay.
One moment, we're just going to spotlight. So there, a phrase is two signs, two or more
Right.
signs
Right.
that I know.
Together. Okay. All right. And a clause is like a phrase, but each clause must have a subject and a predicate. Okay. So 4, 16 together, 20. Let's actually start with the easier question. How many phrases in this sentence? 3. Question 3 here. 0, 1, 2, or none of the above. How many phrases do you see? Well, the way you answer this question is 4 and 16. Is that a phrase?
Peeps is saying no.
Right. Jasmine's saying D is the answer. So look at the question again carefully. Okay, so is 16 together a phrase?
Nat is saying no. Peeps is
No,
saying no.
correct. Is together 20 a phrase?
Yes. Renz is saying yes.
What kind of phrase? Noun, verb, adjective?
Nat is saying no, I don't think it is.
Right, it's not a phrase. Okay. All right, so
Right.
there's 0 phrases in this sentence. So you would pick A, 0.
Nat has his hand up.
Yes?
So in terms of the clause then,
Well, don't worry about the clause yet. Wait. Let's get phrase first.
sorry, sir.
Okay, no problem. It's a good question. I think people will confused if we jump to clause. I want to make sure everybody understands no phrases in that sentence. So if I ask the next question, which I probably would not, are the phrases noun phrases, verb phrases, both noun phrases and verb phrases, or neither a noun phrase or a verb phrase? If it's no phrases, then which is your best answer?
It's D then, Peeps is saying D. Everyone's
That's
saying
correct.
D.
That's correct. Yes. Okay. Now, is that clear? I want you to discuss among yourselves very quickly for about 3 minutes to make sure that's clear to everyone. The answer to 3 and 4. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. Would everyone understand question 3 and 4?
Nat just said that just by process of elimination.
Yes,
Hold on,
yes.
one moment, sir. For number 3,
Right,
the answer is A, or D rather, no phrases.
right.
So wait, hold on. For number 3, is A and D the same thing because there's 0 and none?
No, if it's 0, then it's 0. None of the above could mean 3 phrases, 4 phrases, 5 phrases, 6 phrases. Is that clear?
Yes, that's clear.
Okay. All right. So let's go to, let me see. Yeah, all right. So a clause. A clause has to have a subject and a predicate. And usually it's easier to find the predicates. What is one predicate you can see in that sentence?
Nat has his hand up.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind explaining number 3 one more time? I just want to sure I understand the phrase. So
Okay,
can you
a
go back to
phrase,
number 3?
a phrase is 2 or more signs, 2 or more, sorry,
More.
2 or more. Or 2 or more words that function in the same way. So for example, books 2. What is books? What part of speech?
Noun, Renz is saying it's a noun.
Right, okay. And the phrase, the 2 books go together, right? To describe the books.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so therefore, what does 2 books function as? Books 2 function as? A noun, a verb, an adjective, or an adverb?
Jasmine is saying a noun.
A noun. Does everyone understand that? So if you say books 2, that's, well, books is a noun. Books 2 is a noun phrase. Now, I don't know how you say this, but is it books thick? Sorry, books thick 2, or is it books 2 thick? Which way do you sign that?
So book thick 2.
Add 2, add 2.
Book thick too. Book thick too.
Okay, all right. So book stick to is also a noun phrase. And what we call the head of the noun phrase is the noun. Okay, so books, two books, books two, books stick to, all function as nouns. They are noun phrases. Okay, Nat, do you have any questions about that?
I'm good, sir. Not the same. Thumbs up.
Yeah, so a phrase,
Renz has his hand up.
yeah, okay, Rents.
So book is a noun. Thick is an adjective.
Yes, but what
Am I
does
correct?
thick book, what does book thick function as? Does it function as an adjective or does it function as a noun?
It's a noun.
That's why we call it a noun phrase. Okay, now I'm going to give you an example in English, and I would like Ember to finger spell it. Go. Is that a noun or a verb or an adjective?
Verb. Verb.
Okay. What if I say will go? Is that a phrase?
It's a verb.
Yes. So will go is a verb phrase. It functions like go. Go is the head. Okay. Will be going. Also a verb phrase. Okay. Tall. Tall, 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 T-A-L-L. So you can sign that tall, tall men. Okay. So if we say tall, what is that by itself?
Adjective.
Adjective. What if I say very tall in English?
Adjective phrase.
Exactly. Okay. So we've given you everything you can think about with phrases. Okay. So are there any more questions about phrases?
Marvin has his hand up.
Yes, Marvin?
Just to clarify, tall by itself is an adjective, though. By
Yes.
itself.
Yes.
So
And
then, very tall is a phrase since it's more than one, and it's an
Yes.
adjective phrase.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. But go home. One's a noun, one's a verb. So it doesn't go together. It doesn't function in the same way. Go functions as a verb, and home functions as either a location basically. Not the same thing, not a phrase. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Now, okay. A clause must have a subject and a predicate. What is the predicate, or what is one predicate in the sentence 4, 16, together, 20? Look at the English translation. It will help you.
Meng is saying together 20. So is
No.
Jasmine. Together 20 is the predicate?
No. Together goes with 4, 16.
Just 20, Patrick is, or Peeves is saying. Just 20.
Right. Just Peeps is correct. For the whole sentence, the predicate is 20. So if the predicate is 20, what is the subject?
Four 16 together, Ren's saying.
Yes, 4, 16 together. Now, does that have a predicate in it? 4, 16 together have a predicate?
No, sir. No.
What is together?
It's a verb.
Right, so it's a predicate.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
Okay, think, yes. Important,
I thought it was a
think.
noun.
Yes. So 4, 16 together is one clause. Look at the English, 4 plus 16. That is a clause. It has a subject and a predicate. 4 is the subject, 16 is the object, and together is the predicate. Now that whole clause is the subject of the predicate 20. So, how many predicates do you have in this sentence? You just got through telling me.
2.
What is
2.
together? It's a verb. You told me it's a verb. Therefore, it's a predicate. That's one predicate. You also told me that 20 is a predicate. So there are how many predicates?
2.
2. Okay. And if there are 2 predicates, how many clauses are there?
2.
2, exactly. So, how many clauses is this sentence? A, 0. B, 1. C, 2. D, none of the above.
C.
C, correct. Okay, now we have different names for different clauses. And the name of the clause that is most important is called the main clause, M-A-I-N.
Can we do a sub-interpreter?
Yes,
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so the main clause would be 4 plus 16, 20. And 4 plus 16 is the embedded clause. It's put inside of the main clause. Okay, now, if 20 is the predicate, what is the subject of 20?
$16 for together.
Exactly. So the subject is a clause or a sentence, and that's embedded. It's put inside the whole sentence. Okay, so all right. Now, sign 1 in the sentence. I want you to take some time and discuss this among yourself. You can discuss phrase and clause if you want to review among yourself. Maybe that's a good idea. Let's take 5 minutes and make sure everyone understands why there are no phrases in that sentence, but there are, in fact, 2 clauses. Okay? So why don't you discuss that a little bit, and then I'll come back in 5 to 7 minutes, and you can let me know if it's clear or not. Okay? But I think it's important you're able to explain to each other. Okay? Any
sir.
questions before we break? Break up to start?
None, sir.
Okay, all right. I'll be in and out for a few minutes.
Sir Bai, parang freeze ako feeling ko. Napansin mo? Ay, hindi kita marinig. Ay, naka-mute ka, sorry.
Yes, you're freezing a little bit.
Oo, pero hindi naman freeze. Kaya feeling ko kaya nako-conscious ako kasi I'm using phone. Hindi ko makita lahat. So feeling ko nag-freeze ako kasi nakikita ko rin yung self ko kanina. Parang sabi ko,
instant lang, like it would just be like like it's just instant. It's not like permanent
But not
freeze.
freeze. Okay, sige. Now
Yeah.
conscious na ako. Thank you sa pag sa pag SOS kanina sa akin. Parang very complicated din yung discussion kanina ni Dakudi. So thank you for the
Yeah.
support.
Oh, we're a team, and yun nga, I want to practice my signing then kasi
Sige. From time
even if
to time,
it's
nakita ko lang.
yeah, even if it's just like I said, I'll give you our micro break ng 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay lang.
Okay. Sige. Thank you. Sige, Sir Bay, clause. Baka makasano sila ng clause. Sign ng clause. Hindi ko makita. Sorry. Okay.
So phrase,
Phrase, tapos
clause,
clause.
and then ito, embedded clause.
Anong tawag doon? Kasi ang embed.
Kasi it's a clause, the major, the main one, and then the embedded
Main
one
clause.
is inside.
Oh, so, yeah, yun inside. So, parang ganun, ito na lang i-move yung isa. Parang ganun. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, Nat.
So Meng brought up a point. Uh, Maybe Meng should ask the question. No, you ask the question. Okay, I'll ask the question. So in terms of adjective phrases, I mean, very beautiful is two words, it's a phrase. But in sign language, we emphasize beautiful as in one sign, like very beautiful as in like this. So very beautiful. And then because it's two or more, it's a phrase, an adjective phrase. But Meng mentioned that the way we sign very beautiful is like this. So it's actually one sign.
Right.
So it wouldn't be considered an adjective phrase because it's just one sign then, even though
That's
it's still very, very beautiful.
Yeah, because it's only one sign. A phrase must be two signs. So you can say that English and Filipino Sign Language differ in the way they represent adjectives. English uses adjective phrases. Filipino Sign Language does not tend to use adjective phrases. It tends to modify the adjective inside the sign. It has the same number of morphemes, a lot and beautiful. But it is not an adjective phrase in Filipino Sign Language. It is an adjective phrase in English.
Marvin has his hand up. So now that you've explained that, I'll definitely take note. In terms of adjectives, though, like very beautiful, that is an example of adjective phrase, those two signs. But beautiful by itself, since it's one sign, the adjective is built into beautiful is not, because it's the same meaning as very beautiful, right?
Yes,
Same
yes,
meaning.
it is the same meaning, but the grammar is different. Okay, so all languages can represent the same meaning, but they may do so in different ways. So English represents the meaning of very beautiful syntactically, two words, a phrase. Filipino Sign Language represents the same meanings, but morphologically. Okay, yes, Marvin, continue with your question.
So I understand noun phrase, but it was just, sorry, frozen. So from the various lessons, I see what phrase means, but for very beautiful, for example, it's an adjective phrase, but it's not going to be in any of our lessons.
Yeah, probably not, but you may find some. How about if you say it's partially green? Green and partially blue. I'm sorry, the screen froze.
Maybe I'll. So Peeb said that we usually say blue and then show the parts where it's at, or a little bit blue, something like that.
So like blue, something like that. Is that, I mean, it may not mean the same thing, but is that possible?
Mm,
Or maybe a better example is bright blue and dark blue. Okay.
Blue dark, yeah.
All right.
Blue
So
dark.
what Peeps just signed is an adjective phrase. Because it's two signs, blue and this. So, and blue is an adjective, it's the main part. So that is an adjective phrase. So Marvin, there are examples of adjective phrases in FSL, but it's not usual.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Peebs
Yes,
just wants to add.
Mhm.
Am I going to be spotlighted or what?
Yeah, I should spotlight.
Okay, I'll just go. All right. So we have to see whether or not those signs are connected. So beautiful alone is just one sign. Very beautiful in English is two signs or two words, so it's a phrase. But in FSL, we don't, our adjectives are mostly on our facial expression. So that in itself is not a phrase because it's just one sign. But in another example, like what we just talked about recently, Woody gave us partially blue, which means a little bit of blue here and there. So in comparison, the adjective is in our facial expression with beautiful, but if we have a descriptive word like partially blue, like blue, with an additional sign, whatever that sign may be, maybe blue a little bit or blue dots, then that is considered an adjective phrase. So blue little bits, blue little holes, that's an adjective phrase. Dark blue, that's an adjective phrase. You like we don't really say very blue, we just say blue. We emphasize our face in the movement of our hands. So if we just say blue, it's just one sign, it's not a phrase. In FSL, our adjectives are incorporated in our facial expression. So that's what we have to take in account is first whether or not it's a phrase, the number, and to see whether those two signs are connected to each other.
Good explanation. Okay, but if you're trying to determine if something is a phrase, what sign are we using for phrase? What is a sign?
Like this, sir? Phrase? Phrase, yes, sir.
Okay, so what does this represent? One sign or one word. And the other part of the sign represents one sign or one word. So it means two signs or two words together, linked together. So the sign tells you what you're looking for. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, we need to take a break. So let's come back at
Dr. Woody, I think we're done here.
Okay, hold on just 1 second here. I'll be right with you. Okay. So, are you all okay on phrases and clauses?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let's go back to, let me go back to this one here, the example here. All right, so again, we have example 7. Okay, so how many, question 2, how many clauses in this sentence? Or 16
clauses.
plus?
Two clauses.
2 clauses, yes, okay. All right, how many phrases in the sentence?
Zero.
Zero. Not D, A.
Yes, sir.
Yes, 0 is A. D is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Are there phrases? There are no phrases, so we have to answer D to this question. Neither a noun phrase nor a verb phrase. Okay. Any questions about that?
No questions,
Okay.
sir.
All right, so sign 1 in the sentence. What is the first sign in the sentence? The first sign in the sentence is for. Sign 1 in the sentence for functions as a subject or predicate or part of a subject of the main clause. B, a predicate or part of the predicate of the main clause. C, an object or part of the object of the main clause. D, none of the above.
Peebs is saying A. Most people are saying A.
So 420, that's the sentence.
No. Nat is saying no, it's not.
Right. 4 is the subject of the embedded sentence, the embedded clause. Okay, so you have to be careful when you read these questions. So 5, sentence 1, the number 4 is none of the above. Because it's none of those functions, okay? All right, sentence 1, again, number 4, functions as a subject or part of a subject of the embedded clause. A predicate or part of the predicate of the embedded clause. An object or part of the object of the embedded clause. None of the above.
Peeps is saying A, Nat is saying B,
So
Renz
it's
is saying A.
this sign. This sign. Sign 1.
Right? Nat is
It's
still B, everyone else is A.
A. It's the subject of the,
I thought it's the sign 4, right? 4?
yeah, take a look.
It's the last.
No, it's the first sign.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was the last sign. I thought it was equals 4.
Okay.
Or sorry about that.
All right, so sign number 1 in the sentence functions as a subject, a subject or part of the subject of an embedded clause. Okay.
Yeah, Peeps is saying he meant the other last, which is the
Yeah.
first.
Again, this sign is a noun, a pronoun, B, C, a verb, D, none of the above.
I see A's and D's.
This is a noun. Cannot be a noun, it's a number. So it has to be D, as in dog.
D, right.
Ah, okay. Hey, sign number 2 in the sentence, which is 16. Functions as a subject or part of the subject of the main clause. B, a predicate or part of the predicate as the main clause. C, an object or part of an object of the main clause. D, none of the above.
I see C's as in cat.
D. It's not in the main clause. It doesn't function in the main clause. It's in the embedded clause. So the answer to number 9 is D, none of the above. It's not functioning in the main clause. Okay.
This is Peeps. Yeah, I made a mistake because I always sorry.
Yes, so you have
We
to,
need to be careful because like what I did, I couldn't differentiate the main versus the embedded. So we have to look at the question carefully because it asks
exactly.
for the main clause. And when I was looking at that question, I was thinking it was embedded. But did
Okay.
you?
D, sign number 2 in the sentence, 16, 16 to sign 16.
Hold on, sir. There's a little bit of a discussion with Shaq.
Okay.
Can you explain again with your examples, Peebs? I remember you said something different. Hold on. Peebs is getting his papers. One moment.
Okay.
So now I'll just add in my example here. We talked about clause. I'll just put M for main and E for embedded. So there are 2 kinds of clause. That's what I forgot. Okay. All right, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So again, as I think Peeps said, or someone said, you have to read everything carefully. Okay, sign number 2, which is sign for 16. is a subject or part of the subject of the embedded clause, a predicate or part of the predicate of an embedded clause, an object or part of an object of the embedded clause, none of the above.
Renz is answering C. Nathaniel
Yes.
A.
C is correct. Okay, who is answering A?
Me, sir. This is
Oh,
Nathaniel.
it's okay. It's okay. So again, it's 4, 16 together. And we know it's subject, object, verb. So the first has to be subject, the second has to be object, and the third has to be predicate. Sign number 2 in the sentence is A, a noun. Again, it's 16. B, a pronoun. C, a verb. D, none of the above.
Peebs is saying D.
Yes, because it's a number. Okay, so let me erase these here. Go back up. Okay, sign 3 together. In the sentence, functions as A, a subject or part of the subject of the main clause. B, a predicate or part of the predicate of the main clause. C, an object or part of the object of the main clause. D, none of the above.
Meng and Ray are B. Renz is A. Patrick is D. Peebs is D.
D is correct. Patrick, you want to explain? I mean, yeah, Peeps, do you want to explain? With your diagram before.
Okay, oh, right. So sign number 3 together. Remember from the previous example, 4, 16 together. So remember that we're talking about the main clause, right? When we're doing the whole thing. So the sentence, the main sentence, the together is not part of the predicate in the main clause. Together is the predicate for the embedded part, but not the main. If you understand that? Kyla's still confused. Okay, so Kyla, if we have 4, 16 together, that's the embedded clause, right? The clause within the clause. Okay, we can agree to that. So together is the predicate for that embedded clause. But in the main clause, the sign together doesn't function as a predicate. So the answer is D. Is that clear? Meng has her hand up. But it says part of the main clause. if it's part of the embedded, then what happens? Okay, perhaps it's going to be in the next question, but in this particular question, it's talking about the main clause. But if it's embedded, then what's the answer? A? Or is it still D? Peeves is saying no, 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 no. The embedded clause, the sign together is a predicate, right? For the embedded. You're jumping ahead a little bit. Let's focus on one thing at a time. And I think, yeah, it's just adding a little bit of confusion for you, Meng. Are you still confused though? Okay, the main, this is Meng. The main is the big one. The embedded is within, but the third sign is together, right? Together. So that's what we're focusing on, the sign together. Yes, but that sign together is part of the main and the embedded, but you have to look at the question. You have to know what that function is. Do you still get me, or Ren's saying, well, I understand you. Meng is saying, well, I'm still confused. Maybe Marvin can explain. Marvin? So the E, the embedded, number 12. So in that has the subject and predicate. Hold on. Who's speaking? Jasmine has her hand up. Maybe we can inform Dr. Woody. Do we have Bay the interpreter here? So, okay, maybe we can inform Dr. Woody that Yami cannot continue class because her internet is not strong. So she's left. Is that okay, Dr. Woody?
Okay, so what do you want to do?
It's just Yami though. It's just Yami. The rest of us is still here. We'll just continue. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, okay. All right, so the importance of the sign together or add together is in the embedded clause. It's not the predicate of the main clause. The predicate of the main clause is 20.
Yes, sir.
Right. And the subject of the main clause is the whole embedded clause, 4, 16 together. Okay. All right. So number 12, the answer is it's not part of anything in the main clause. 13, sign 3, all add together, functions as a subject or part of a subject in the embedded clause, a predicate or part of the predicate in the embedded clause, an object or part of the object in the embedded clause, none of the above.
Peeps is saying A. Renz is saying A. Not
That is correct. B, it's the predicate. It's the predicate in the embedded clause. Okay, sign number 3, that is add together, is a noun, a pronoun, a verb, or none of the above.
Sir, we're on number 12 or 13 now.
Sorry, we finished 12 and 13. Let's go back. 12. The answer to 12 is D, none of the above. The answer to 13 is B as in boy, Okay. And then the answer to number 14 is C, a verb. Right?
Yes, sir. C.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. No, sorry, sign number 4. Let me go back up here. Number 15, sign number 4, 20 is A, a subject or part of a subject in the main clause. B, a predicate or part of the predicate in the main clause. C, an object or part of the object in the main clause. D, none of the above. B is
B.
correct?
B is in boy.
Yes. 16, sign number 4 in the sentence. 20 functions as A, a subject, B, a predicate, C, an object, D, none of the above.
D.
Sorry, in the embedded clause, in the embedded clause. D, yes, it's not in the embedded clause, it's in the main clause.
Yes, it's not.
Okay. Sign number 4 in the sentence. 20 is a noun, a pronoun, a verb, or none of the above.
D. Jasmine saying D.
Okay, all right. Now, where is the subject in the main clause? Sign 1, 2, 3, 4, or none of the above. So is 4 the subject of the main clause?
E.
No.
E. Renz is saying E.
E, D or E?
E, none of the above?
E, none of the above. Where is the number 19? Where is the subject in the embedded clause? The embedded clause is 4, 16 together. Where is the subject?
I see A.
A, correct.
Nat is saying, can we do number 18 again? Can we talk about 18?
What is the subject of the main clause? Just tell me the subject.
For the main clause, sir?
Yes,
There's no.
Right, so it's E, none of the above. It's the whole sentence. It's the embedded clause is the subject. So 4 by itself is not the subject of the main clause. 16 is not the subject of the main clause. And to get add together is not the subject of the main clause. Phoebes is right. Altogether, all 3 of those together is a subject.
Shaq has his hand up.
Yes, Chuck?
I'm just wondering if we can put on the main screen, just make it bigger. Perhaps give us another example of an embedded clause and a main clause, just so that we can see, like, bring this down and we can put up another example of embedded clause in a main clause.
Okay, you want me to give you an example, or you want to put up a signed sentence?
Put up I'll put up a sentence, sir. So
Okay.
maybe if you put
Okay.
something down, I'll put it up.
Okay, that's fine. I'll come off the sharing. Now, before, okay.
So Dr. Woody, A, part of the subject. B, sorry, I missed that one part. C, part of the predicate. And we have to make sure that the sentence is talking about either being embedded or being in the main. So if we're talking about for example, that sign is in both, right? So 16 is an object, and this is a predicate in the embedded, right?
Right.
But it's different from the main because that whole 4, 16 together is the subject for the main, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So this is part of the subject of the main, part of the subject of the main. And then in the main sentence, 20 is the predicate. So I understand that part. I'm just wondering, I'm just explaining it more in a visual way so the others can understand.
That's fine.
So it will give you, you need to have the discipline to really analyze the sentence closely. That's all. That's all I wanted to do.
Good, good. Any more questions on that? Okay. How about if I give you another sentence?
Okay, sir.
Teaching English is fun. So I don't know how you want to sign it. So English teach.
So we'll do teach English, topic, fun. Or English teach.
So how would you sign
fun.
it? English teach fun?
English teach fun.
Okay. How many clauses?
Hold on. We're thinking.
What's the subject of the sentence? of the whole sentence, the main
Teach.
clause.
Teach. Teaching.
English teaching. English teach is the whole subject. Okay. Is there a verb there? No.
Fun.
In teaching English, English teach, is there a verb there?
Yes, sir. Teach.
Yes. All right. Is there, and what is the predicate of teaching English?
English.
No, the predicate, sorry. The predicate of the sentence, teaching English is fun. What is fun? Okay, it's the same kind of example. English teaching. English is the object of an embedded clause and teach is the verb in an embedded clause. And fun is teaching, English teaching is the subject of the main clause and fun is the predicate of the main clause. So I think you need more review on this, and the question why this hasn't come up sooner is because all of the sentences so far in lessons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 have all been simple sentences with only one clause. Now, in lesson 8, we're moving to complex sentences with 2 clauses. Okay. So, yeah, it's difficult, but you already know this information. You just have to start analyzing more inside yourself. This is new. Okay. All right, well, it's getting a little bit late. We need to have a break. Let's come back at 3:30 your time.
Copy, sir.
All right. And then we'll talk a little bit. Now I'm gonna tease you, so don't get afraid. So you all want the test tomorrow, quiz tomorrow?
Ha 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 ha. Good one, sir.
Okay, all right. So we need more review time, all right? And we'll discuss that when we come back to the group at 3:30. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. See you in a while. Okay. So I think that what we'll do, if it's okay with you, I'm going to send you a list of the questions with that particular sentence at the top of each page. And what I'd like you to do is spend the rest of the time today to come to an agreement on the answers. And then tomorrow, I'll give you 1 hour. And so you will start at 1 o'clock your time. And I will join you at 2 o'clock your time. So then we can see if you can come up with the answers. Okay, so right now I don't have everybody's email, so I'm gonna send the file to Peeps. And, okay, hold on a second here.
So, sorry, this is the interpreter.
Okay, I just sent it on to Peeps. If you can forward it. So any questions that you want to ask now? Okay, I think if you work together on this, it may be better than me asking you questions. Because then you all have to come up with the same answers. Okay. So if you can't come up with the same answers, you can discuss with me when we meet tomorrow.
Thumbs up, sir.
Okay, all right. I'm going to close with you today then, and you can continue with the discussion. Or you can bring it home and discuss tomorrow. But tomorrow, when we meet, you and I meet, then I want you to be able to agree on the same answer. And if you can't agree on the same answer, then we will discuss it tomorrow.
Sounds good, sir.
Okay? Yes. Peeps?
So, Dr. Woody, tomorrow I might be a little bit late. I have a meeting from 1 to 2:30 with Ms. Techi. So we're going to be talking about our budget and proposing it to CSB Finance. So it might be a while. I'll just follow suit afterwards. But you guys go ahead with your lesson.
Well, do you think we should cancel tomorrow until you can all discuss at the same time? We can add one more day on later.
I'm not sure you need me. Maybe it's, I think we can just continue on with the rest of them.
Okay, that's fine. What about Yami tomorrow? Will she have her computer available?
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay. All right, then we'll close for now, and I will see you tomorrow.
All right, sir. Thank you.
I got cut off for some reason.
Okay. This is
Okay.
Peeps.
All right, so I will join you tomorrow. You will start tomorrow at 1 your time, and I will join you at 2.
All right, sir.
Okay, see you tomorrow then. Thanks to the interpreters.
Thank you. Take care, Dr. Woody.
Bye.